The pig is back. I'm back in the barn with my free four-wheeler that keeps on giving. If you remember, I finished last episode with a CV joint that was clicking. And so we're gonna jump in today and see if we can figure out what I did wrong when I put it back together. I ended up straightening the pin and using a punch to knock the pin from the other side. Now I can get my pliers in and pull the pin out. But as you can see, it's not quite straight, and that's what binds up in that little hole when we try to pull them out. I skipped a bunch of the mundane stuff, but now that I've got it this far, I'll pull the boot off and show you guys how to get inside there and check out the CV joint. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little snap ring around the edge that holds everything together. Okay, now that I've got everything out and cleaned up, I'll show you what I found. When I was pulling the axle shafts out to get at the rear end last week, I had accidentally pulled the CV joint apart when I was trying to pry the axle shafts out of the rear differential. And so when I pressed it back together, I had this inner race and the ball carrier here. I had to press them back onto the spline shaft, and I chose the wrong orientation. So I set it up so that the wider part was facing out of the CV joint instead of facing in. So normally what you want what they call the cone. This part, if you look at it at the shape here, you want this part facing out of your CV joint so that it's like this. But I had installed it last week like that. So what I'm going to do, since I suspect I pressed this on backwards, I don't know if it matters, but I'm going to press this back off, and then I'll put it all back together, and hopefully the CV joint won't click now. It turns out I'd gotten lucky and I had put the inner hub on correctly. There's a section you can see inside there that is not splined. That section should be facing out of the CV joint. If you look at the other side, that's fully splined. So this section without the splines should be the part that fits onto the axle shaft coming out, and the part with the spline should be going into the CV joint. So I did have the carrier on backwards, but I had the inner hub on correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this all back together and we'll get the bike working again. Don't forget to put this ring back in. It's very important. Should be able to just start the ring on one part. Just work it around with your finger. And when you've got it about ready, sure it's in place with the screwdriver. There, I heard it click. So when I heard that click, I know it's in there now. Now I just need to put the boot back on and secure these clamps. I just felt the boot go over this ridge right here. and it's in position on the inner part as well. So this inner part wants to pull loose, so I'm going to start with it first. Push this down and just tap it over with the hammer. I'm going to use punch. Get the other side. Okay.
you've enjoyed watching me work on this, please hit the subscribe button in the bottom of your screen. It should be shaped like a little barn, and that'll let you know next time I work on something. I work on lots of things, but this four-wheeler has lots to do, so I'm sure I'll be working on it again soon. And now, before I go play, I want to talk about something that you probably won't hear on many automotive YouTube channels. Yesterday was Valentine's Day, and that got me thinking about love. Love is patient. Love is kind. It doesn't envy. It doesn't boast. It's not proud. It doesn't dishonor others. It's not self-seeking. It's not quick to anger. And it doesn't hold a grudge. I acted that way when I was a child. I talked like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. But when I became a man, I put those childish ways behind me. And now three things remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love.